What's up, cruel world? Jump a little timeline here. Listen, this is video number 4. Number 4. Shit, I'm tired. Guys, I'm so tired. But hey, it's video number 4, and God told me I gotta do what I gotta do, so we gonna do it. So the title of this little live, if you're listening, if I'm not shadow banned yet, it's justice. Now I know what you're thinking. Justice? What does that exist? I mean, that begs a lot of questions, right? Is there justice? I mean, is there justice for bank larceny? Shit, is there justice for real estate mortgage fraud? Is there justice for forging documents? Is there justice for illegal power of attorney? Is there justice for those deserving of justice? And who's supposed to provide the justice? Because I can tell you guys, for the last 3 years, I've been looking for it. Ain't nobody been trying to give it to me. And that's the reason why I'm making these videos now, because I realize ain't nobody gonna help me row this boat. So, do I want justice? I absolutely do. I deserve it. I deserve it for the pending pain that I know is coming for me. For the knowledge that I've been seeking that I know I don't really want to know or understand. But I know I have to have it. Now, the last video you saw me get a little emotional and weepy, and I am still in that energy. And I'll be honest, I can't apologize for it because I'm feeling how I'm feeling. And I believe that these feelings aren't really even mine. You see, I'm concerned about justice for more than just myself. There are children involved in this, being raised up in this foolishness. That's how that crazy psychopathic beast thought that he could come and steal my life, replace it with his, and move forward like nothing happened. Someone raised him to think this way. And so, cousin, I don't know if you're already locked up yet, or if you're looking for a way out, or whatever the case may be. But I want you to know and understand. I forgive your ignorance. And even though I want justice, I forgive what you tried to do to me. Because I know that if I don't, that same energy you tried to offer me will sit right inside of me, and I don't want it. Because that ain't justice. So, again, there are children that are wrapped up in this foolishness. I have nieces and nephews, or a niece and nephews. I want to be accurate to what I know at this moment. And I'm very concerned about their safety, because I have to think that the very people who are willing to steal and kill and destroy are going to harm those children. Maybe not immediately. Maybe immediately. I don't know. But if anybody that's watching and listening that knows who I am talking about, my phone number will be listed somewhere for someone to find if they are truly interested in helping me help those children. Because I don't know how all this ends. I only know I intend to stay alive. Whatever means I need to employ. Okay? felt extremely angry yesterday, and I don't want to be angry. So I took a little bit longer before coming back to give you guys another video. But now let's get down to the real business of talking about justice. You see, I'm wrapped up in several different court hearings, cases, situations, whatever you want to call it, but all of them requiring a judge and attorneys to argue my point, attorneys to argue the opposition's point, and a judge to sit above all of this to make a determination as to what is truth and what is lies. Well, let me tell you what I've learned about our justice system. And I'm not saying that it's always flawed. I'm not saying it don't always work. But in my particular situation, my experience has been this. Evidence is a square piece of paper that you can write anything on it that you want. You can label it Exhibit A, or 1, or 2, or L, or M. Doesn't matter. But once you introduce that evidence as such, and a court of law accepts it, guess what that becomes? It becomes fact. It doesn't matter if it was checked. It doesn't matter if somebody did due diligence. It just becomes fact. See, that's what happened to me with my house. Some people created evidence that says that I, Darville Jackson, shit, let me be honest, I don't even know what it says because the judge never even told me what I was accused of. The judge decided to admonish me from the very minute I walked into the courtroom back in, what was that, April of 24. Let me tell you a little bit more about justice, this particular judge and these attorneys. So on that day, I was given a temporary restraining order that somehow became permanent. Never received any notification as to why it should be validated or offered permanency, even though I asked. Every lawyer that I hired, because every lawyer I hired ended up walking away from my case. Every lawyer I've hired refused to ask the judge under what grounds is this temporary restraining order for. So in any event, I have a permanent temporary restraining order against me, barring me from access to a home that I built, barring me from access to a home that I put my money into, that I put my hard work and effort into beautifying and making a beautiful home. Never mind the other person that was attached to my back looking for a come up. So now I find myself in a situation whereby my ex-wife ended up with autonomy to sell and list a home that she had no investment in. Don't that sound strange to y'all? Don't sound like justice to me. Let me go a little further. So she lists the house on my birthday. Thank you, boo-boo. List the house on my birthday, July 25th, 2024. Then something strange happened in November. In November, the house was taken off the market, and I didn't even know. Imagine that. My home on the market for sale gets taken off. No one tells me anything. Doesn't that sound weird too? All right, well, we're going to keep looking for justice through all of this shit. So some stranger calls me, a real estate agent. He says, hey, I noticed your listing is down. If you're interested in relisting, Me and my brokerage would be happy to list your house. We believe that that is an astonishing property and we can sell it quickly. I don't know what those other guys are doing. Shocked at what I'm hearing, I simply said, sir, I appreciate the offer. I think it's going to be a few months before I put the house back on the market. And I hung up the phone. And I immediately started making phone calls. Brokers of record, Bob Baker, you would not call me back. Listing agent Terry McCoy, you would not call me back, you crooked rat. See, Terry McCoy and I, we go back to 2019. Yeah, see, I met Terry McCoy through my wife. Or at the time, she was my wife. And at that time, I wanted to sell the other house that I had built in 2017 so that I could build the North Lake house. And I'm giving you guys all of this juice, right? So, in any event, when she came into my home in 2019, she looked me dead in the eye and said, my house is only worth $307,000. And to that, do you know what I said, y'all? I said, please leave my home. See, there are no fools in my home other than my ex-wife. Leave my home. So she left. But now we fast forward back to 2024, right? She's the listing agent of my home. Will not provide any update, no information on the sale of the house. Bob Baker, the broker, will not provide any information on the sale of the house. So I go to pay them a visit, but nobody's there. You know, when you go to see somebody and the front desk receptionist says, oh, let me go get them, and then comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry, they must have stepped out. So since they didn't respond, I said, well, let me go find the attorney that my wife hired. So I drove to two of his locations in Plano and in Dallas, neither of which would I find him there. As a matter of fact, he no longer held office space in those buildings, but his website said he did. And then I began to get a strange feeling in the pit of my stomach. Did somebody already sell my house out from under me? Because, you know, when I left the house, strangely, my passport was missing. Strangely, the titles to my vehicles were missing. A birth certificate was missing. An old driver's license was missing. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So I'm thinking in my mind, with this rogue agent who wanted to sell another house worth $450,000 for $307,000, I have to know that the fuckery is at foot. So I began doing a little internet research because that's one of my skills, and I find the attorney's phone number, not the number that's listed on his website, mind you, because you can call that number all you want. It forwards off to a Susan G. Roach, not a Barrett A. Stern. So anyways, I find Barrett's phone number and I call him. I say, hey, Barrett, you want to tell me why my ex-wife's listing on our house has come down? This little surly rat, you could hear the unsureness in his voice, the quivering like a little fucking hamster. Do you know if they plan to relist the house? Did you know if they were going to do whatever the fuck you're talking about is bull? That's what I'm thinking in my mind. So I said, listen, you're the communication chain for this divorce procedure. Contact my wife and find the fuck out what I need to know. So he did. He calls me back and he tells me they're going to keep the house off the market for 30 days and then they're going to relist it, refresh that listing so that listing days on market aren't so long. Makes good sense to me, right? I still don't believe him. He's a crook. Anyway, so I wait 30 days. Nothing happens. Okay? Nothing happens. 30 more days go by. Nothing happens. At this point in my mind, with my wife's stealing of my identity, it could be very easy for them to sell that house, use my passport with another individual's picture, and Miss Terry McCoy would be just fine. Bob Baker never met me, so he didn't know what I looked like. So in my mind, the house has already been sold. I hire an attorney, and I'm telling him what I want. I want to get back into court. I want to address the decree that is lopsided against me for no apparent reason. And I want the house properly relisted. I want communication and information with regards to my home, because that just seems right to me. Seems like justice. Anyway, it takes 3 months for me to get into court. 3 goddamn months, man. 5 months my house sat, no nothing, and I'm paying for this witch to live in a very expensive house. Right? She's paying 2-bedroom apartment money to live in an executive home. Don't seem like justice to me, y'all. That ain't no damn justice where I come from. So anyways, this attorney, he does give me a court date. We get into court and we do a couple things, but you know what? There's some weird shit going on in court, man. Attorneys want to try to broker for peace. I don't want no peace. I want all the problems. And they see it and they know it. So the peace brokering that they want to do, I'm saying no. I said no twice. Still, I'm not going to get no justice here, because now the judge is going to tell me what he's going to hear. And I'm being forced to not have certain things heard in a court of law. My ex-wife should have been held in contempt. She wasn't paying the mortgage. She had dropped the listing. All of these things are in the decree. Anyways, like I said, I did get a couple small wins. The property was listed appropriately, and I did get communication. I have been getting communication. But in that court hearing, we also set a 90-day limit for her to list this property. And, of course, if the property doesn't sell in 90 days, then by July 7th, a receiver, person appointed by the judge, or by the court, I should say, would then be responsible for the listing and the selling and the disposal of this marital asset. Well, interestingly enough, as we get closer and closer to July, a buyer hadn't shown up yet. The listing agent comes back and drops the price again, and drops the price again. Now, mind you, there are houses selling in this community for $900,000, $1 million. That house is easily worth close to $825,000, $850,000. She's listing my property at $695,000. She sends me an email one day, and then she says, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, I would like an extension. I really think that we're not getting a chance to sell this house for full value. You're going to lose equity, and you're going to this, and you're going to that, but I do not care at this point. I just want to watch myself in this situation. I can rebuild." So I say no. Magically, a week later, a buyer shows up. So this buyer shows up mysteriously out of nowhere, and now I am produced a sales offer, I guess, a listing agreement. Mind you, I've never signed a listing agreement. Every listing agent just listed the property because my wife or ex-wife had the autonomy to list and sell the house. Now she wants me to sign documentation. Well, guess what? I don't feel like signing your funky paperwork, right? Because y'all didn't give me the respect as an owner I should have been given initially. So I'm not signing these papers. She calls me. She says, "Mr. Jackson, I really need you to sign these papers. The offer's coming in, and we really need to move quickly to get this done." I don't like to move quickly for nothing when we're talking about big numbers. So I'm saying no again. It's like the same neighborhood where your neighbors are moving down. Well, actually, strangely enough, the neighbor that lives right across the street from that property is trying to move out. Yes, their house is listed for sale for $810,000. And believe you me, that house is ugly. I mean, shit ugly. That's how I know my house is worth more. Because it's a gorgeous house. But yeah, they're moving out or they're selling. And you know what? Come to think of it, the house across the street from me to the left of my property is also listed for sale. So there's two houses for sale there in that community. But the other three that I was talking about are in another community in Oak Point, Texas. Uh, where was I? Yeah. So she wants me to sign this paperwork, and I'm saying, no, something don't seem right. A week ago, you wanted an extension. Now we got a buyer. So I asked for proof of funds. I asked to know the names of the individuals. I did get the name of the individual, but I didn't get any information about proof of funds. The sale of the property was going to be contingent on the sale of one of their homes somewhere in southern Texas. So I'm definitely saying no to this because I ain't got time for no contingent sale. You either come ready to play like I did when I built the house, or you just go keep kicking cans down the street. That's how I feel. And it's my right. I own half of that home. Should own all of it, but I own half the home. Anyways, hour or two later goes by. Now my attorney is calling me. Now I'm not picking up the phone because I know why he's calling me. Right? He calls me 5 times. I finally pick up the phone and I call him back. I say, hey, what's going on? Excuse me. He says, Mr. Jackson, your divorce decree requires you to sign any and all documents presented before you. I said, well, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hear your voice. You know, Mr. Jackson, this is serious. Okay, you can get in a lot of trouble here. Well, what do you mean? A lot of trouble like when my ex-wife didn't pay the mortgage for 3 months? Or stopped listing the house for 5 months? I don't really think nothing gonna happen. Nothing happened to her. But maybe justice rolls different for me, right? So I explained to him that I don't care about the decree. I don't care about the decree. I built the house. No judge, no human being other than me is going to tell me when to sign a piece of paper or not. And if I got to sit in a jail cell, then that's what the fuck I'll do. And I hung up the phone. And then I began getting texts from my attorney telling me, your ex-wife's attorney is calling for an emergency meeting with the judge. Now, this would be the second emergency meeting that this particular attorney is able to garner with this judge on moments notice. Excuse me. Moments notice. This guy gets a meeting with the judge. Not once, but twice. Anyways, they schedule a hearing for the following day. Well, lucky for me, I just happened to be out of the state of Texas during that time. Now, I did try to make it back as quick as I could, but you know what? By the time I got back, I decided, you know what? I should go somewhere else, and I did. Guys, I don't think y'all hear me. If you're listening, you're watching out there, you don't hear me. I am in danger right now. I am saying some shit right now that is dangerous. And I know it is. And I don't know how all of this is going to end. But I know what I'm being told to do, so I'm just going to do it. Anyways, judge sets an emergency hearing for that following Monday. Something procedurally cannot be right about this. But I don't have time to go look up case law. In any event, I expressed to my attorney, since I am out of state, I would appreciate you handling this situation ex parte. I still have to reach out to the court reporter to find out what was said and what was done. But ultimately, here's what took place. Because I did not show up to sign that document, the judge then decided to make the listing agent that is currently listing my marital asset the receiver, when previously it was supposed to be someone else. It just seems to me like people are taking too much interest in the disposal of this marital asset. This marital asset that's been on the market for a year but really shouldn't have been on the market any longer than 45 days. That's how bad that house is, at least in my opinion. In any event, I now have a new court date whereby somebody wants to force my hand to pen. And then I think they're going to want to call that justice. But I don't think that that's justice. Certainly ain't justice for me. Certainly ain't justice for the work that I put in, the energy and the intellect in my mind to establish a strategic plan to build one house, leverage its equity position to then access another property. My ex-wife didn't come up with any of this. My ex-wife didn't battle mortgage companies to ensure that the cost of the home. Let me just say this. I set this up in a way so that when the house, after a certain amount of years, the mortgage payment would actually reduce by $500. And then you would be living in a house more than likely by that time that was close to being worth $1 million for damn near the same amount of money that I was paying for the other house that I lived in. You guys don't hear what I'm saying. I'm a fucking smart son of a bitch. I really am. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I really am not. Because the truth is I've always tried to hide exactly how smart I am because I know how much it creates jealousy in other people. I don't know why people are always so goddamn jealous of things that they don't need to be afraid of. People recoil and offer negativity and hate when they really should be honoring information, collaborating to learn, to grow. I don't know why people do that. There's no justice in hate. And so I play stupid often. But I'm tired of playing stupid with people. And I'm not apologizing for being smarter than others. I'm also not going to apologize for helping anyone be better than they were. Because I believe that's why I'm here. If I can help people, if I can give something to someone that makes them put down whatever it was that wasn't good for them, to me, in a strange way, that's justice. So I don't know if there's going to be any coming justice for me. I don't know if there's going to be any justice for the people that truly deserve it. But what I do know is I'm going to lay my game down flat and I'm going to leave everything on the field. And at the end of the day, there's not going to be nobody left to tell a lie about me. There's not going to be anyone able to disparage what I've created, the foundations that I have set, the injustices that have been brought upon me because someone didn't like how I look, or that I was doing something that they found themselves incapable of doing. So to that, I just simply say, guys, time is starting to wind down for me. I got to get on the move soon. It's time to hand somebody the keys to this vet. I got to sprout some wings and fly. I'm not done pushing the truth. I'm going to have to figure out a smarter way to share it. Because it seems like I'm getting shadow banned at this point. But that's okay, I will be back. So please, take care of yourself. Hug and kiss your babies. Look at your life squarely and assess it for whether or not it's true. Do you have the things that you want in your life? Are they real? Because I thought all those things that were in my life that I had painstakingly placed brick by brick were real. And they were fake as shit. And I'm okay with that because I'm a big, strong boy. I can handle all of that. It's nothing. But I do deserve justice. I do deserve to own what's mine, to control what's mine, and not have jealous people offer me a justice that doesn't belong to me. Offer me a justice that is meant for someone of low worth and honor. I'm a person of high honor. I'm a person willing to do what's right every time, even in the dark. To be integrous is difficult, especially in the face of so many people willing to not be. So, friends, family, those I don't know watching, if you have a pure heart, I ask for your prayer for my justice, because it's been long coming, and I don't know who I'm going to be if I don't get it. I'm hoping I'll still be me. I'm hoping I'll still be here if they put me in a jail cell. I got a strange feeling that I do not want to be in their jail cell. But I still got to say no. Yeah, the word for the day, y'all, is justice. Let's see if